online or how many people are online?
I can tell you.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning. Below is the link to the, okay. Here we go. Okay, so we can call the meeting to order. It's 7:01.
Should be good to go. Yep.
Okay. Good. And Pledge of Allegiance.
Do we have flags over there?
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. All right, roll call.
Commissioner Avey.
Here.
Commissioner Gillen.
Here.
Commissioner Governa.
Govea, here.
I'm sorry.
It's no problem.
Commissioner Lindsay. Commissioner Paul Lindsay. Chairman Rennie.
Here.
Commissioner Rosa.
Yes.
Commissioner Rossini LaPierre.
Here.
And Commissioner Stan. And you have your quorum.
We have our quorum.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Was Hunter on?
Hunter is online.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay. Okay, can we have an approval of last month's minutes?
And you should make a motion and somebody should second it. You should vote on it.
Oh, I can make a motion?
You should,
just
you're the
to
chair.
clarify?
Somebody should.
For a motion.
You should ask for a motion.
I will ask for a motion.
I move.
All right, second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm abstaining. I wasn't here last month. It's not right for me to vote on minutes.
Gotcha.
And I wasn't here.
One other thing, just as for protocol for the recording secretary, just say, Commissioner Rossini or whoever's speaking, just so she knows until she gets with the faces better.
Absolutely.
It's just easier for the minutes.
Okay.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Good note.
You got it. Okay, so we're all set there?
Yeah, and then everything should be up on the screen for you.
Oh, even better. So
Yes.
public participation. Do we have any public participation?
There's nobody online.
Hello, folks. Matt Plord, 258 Audubon Avenue in Newington. First, I just want to congratulate the folks who are new to this commission and thank them for stepping up to the plate to serve our community in this way. The work that you folks can do through this commission is really important. And myself, and I'll venture to speak for Councilor Petrayko as well, we're here to be supportive, to be partners, to brainstorm, to be helpful where appropriate. So please let us know how we can do that. A few other things, I went back and looked at the minutes from the last meeting. I know there was a lot of discussion at that first meeting about supporting our small businesses. And that's, I think, a lot of work that this commission can do. Obviously we have so many small businesses in town, but we also have a lot of folks that would like to start small businesses that don't feel they have the support to do so, whether in their personal lives or in their community or financially. And I know that there's a lot of commissions like this in other towns who have done some of the work to supplement that, to give folks, whether it's seed funding or staff support or other support that this commission could render to give people a bit of some infrastructure so that they can get those dreams started and get them started right here in Newington, which is where we want them to get them started. So I'm happy to be a resource to talk more about things like that and anything else that the commission wants to explore. And again, congratulations and thank you for serving.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any other public participation?
No, there's no one online.
Okay, nobody's on. Nobody's out there. Nobody wants to call in.
No one from the public, put it that way.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate Matt then.
Yes. All right. Would you like to do our Chamber of Commerce report? Do you have anything to mention? I know we just had they had the annual dinner.
They had the annual dinner. We had some turnover, some new nominations. I actually didn't write them down or bring them with me, but we have change of president. We have change of vice president. We have the annual golf tournament coming up. Next Thursday, there's going to be the car show.
Yes, car show.
Car show next Thursday. Market Square, 5 o'clock, I believe, but it is online. Then there's going to be the annual golf tournament, August 5th, and that's a big fundraiser for the chamber. And then we'll see where, and then the Waterfall Festival in the fall. So we haven't quite gotten to that one yet. So right now, I think we're just looking forward to seeing what the EDC can do for the chamber, what the chamber can do for the EDC, because I think they go very well hand in hand together, and I will take responsibility for being a liaison, and I've got to get a stronger running start.
You're good. You're good.
Reference people also to their website too.
That's true. They are, they do keep up very well on their website. So that's available and Facebook. So I guess that's the short version, Cliff Notes.
All right then. Good.
I think so.
Okay. Any old business? We still have the beautification committee on there. Now that you are here, did you want to talk about that at all, or?
The beautification committee was something that started with Keith Chapman as our town manager, and we worked with Superintendent Bill DeMayo of Parks and Rec, and we went out to businesses to see if they would want a 17-gallon pot with flowers by their business. And I know Image Inc., Core, Bar, Payne Enterprise, and there was someone else that took the pots, and then the only requirement was that the following year that they kept up the flowers. And I want to say there were maybe a business or two on the backside of where Little Cakes is and Constitution parking. And I know that Image Inc. still keeps up with their pots, the same with Core, Bar, and Market Square, and Payne Enterprise on Payne Road all keep up with their pots.
So you offered the pots and flowers?
Yes, and then every year since then they have to
tend to them.
Got it. We thought of trying to do them in entry points into the town, and there was whose property is it? Is it town? Is it state? So that kind of got derailed because of that. And then we had COVID.
Yes.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, squashed everything.
Yeah, that explains everything.
So did you order them like as the businesses wanted them, or do we have like a stash of these?
They're now, I believe, with Parks and Rec has used them in places in town.
I was wondering, like I saw one, I think there's one on the corner of Main and Market Square. Is that?
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
Okay.
And then Parks and Rec are in charge of watering them, because I saw a Parks and Rec truck watering them last week. Okay.
Vic waters them.
Yes.
The ones that are on like Image Inc. and Payne Enterprise and Bar, Core on Market Square, they all water them.
But the town, so it's considered town property, so the town will water those.
The ones that are on town property, yes.
Awesome.
So do we still have some that we're trying to?
I believe there might
get adopted?
I believe there could be some. I'm not 100% sure. That's something you'd have to check with Superintendent DeMayo.
Okay.
I've got some connections to parks.
Okay.
I'll look into that.
You want to check into that?
Find out.
Okay. Anything else you want to touch on for the beautification? Because there were flags.
There were
but
flags
that was kind of a done deal, right? Like
that those were designed by members of the commission, and those were put up. It was Fall in Love with Newington, and it was during the fall, and
and see what they do.
wasn't me. Can't take credit for that. And those Parks and Rec has, it does take 2 weeks to put them up because they have to get a bucket truck and they do it on off hours. So that's something if we decide to do, you'd have to once again contact Superintendent DeMayo.
All right, and then who puts up the?
Is that something that we own, then we own the flags, or they were like?
No, we paid.
So we have them somewhere.
They're probably in the parks garage.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean, they,
Did you get that for?
Well, I want to ask a question because it did go through Bill DeMayo, but is Parks and Grounds handling or Parks and?
We actually brought them to the Parks and Grounds garage off of Cedar.
Then I have a little more, I have a little more leverage there. Okay.
And why can't I think of Clay's last name?
Pedigo.
Yes.
Pedigo, okay.
Yes, we got him from
the one that helps with the no, never mind.
No,
Okay.
we did get the flags from Flagman and Avon.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And then the other, the holiday ones, like the snowflakes, those are all parks.
Those are
and
parks.
Right, yes.
Okay, so those don't belong to, okay, just to
Right.
make sure.
There is an account that EDC has. You'd have to check with our finance director, Janet Murphy, on, how much is in there. And that's something that I believe gets carried over. There are very few accounts that get carried over each year, but I do believe that is one account that gets carried over.
I heard that rumor. That we had some money to do some things with.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we learned.
Yes.
We're quite excited to see that number.
A lot of it wasn't spent, so it just kind of, but it wasn't easy to do this.
Right, it's the.
No, it's lovely, yeah.
Yes, we'll accept.
I know a lot of departments in town would love that.
Yeah.
Oh,
a little envious, I bet.
Yeah.
A little envious that we get to.
So
hang
we
on to
do
that.
want to get into that a little bit today. Okay, so are we good with old business then? Because that's all that we had on the agenda for old business.
For clarification, does the beautification committee still exist and who's on it?
It was the whole EDC.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Gotcha.
Good
Okay.
question.
Yeah, we tried subcommittees and it just.
Yep. Everybody doesn't play or participate. Okay. Okay.
So why don't you do us a favor as
Okay.
having a connection
Mhm.
is you reach out to them, report back with some information, and then we can
Go from
you
there.
may want
What you
to,
wanted to
I
say.
would just also say that you probably want to find out how many of the flags are still viable, because even after they're up for a few weeks, they do sometimes get tattered, discolored, torn. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
you know, if you only have a dozen, it might not be worth it. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't remember how many you ordered that time.
Yeah, do a medical check on them.
Yeah, there were
Like you said,
enough that
there's
it
a
filled
lot
the
less.
Right.
back of my vehicle.
Oh, wow, okay.
I feel like they were all the way down Garfield.
Yes,
They did Garfield, like Maine, you know, they do that
Mm-hmm.
kind of, where you see the American flags up for Memorial Day parade, they
Yeah,
kind of do it in
yeah.
that same general location.
Okay, so even if there's like half as many, we could do something with them.
Yeah,
or-
you may be able to do something, yes.
Cool. All right, so we did put some new business on the agenda. So we can start with, I think what might take up the most time would be Small Business Saturday. So a few of us have been talking about this, and we have more than enough time that Small Business Saturday is far enough away that we could probably plan something really cool. So the only thing that we really have done with it in the past, for the, I could speak on two fronts. I could speak on the chamber. We did a passport. Did we do it 1 year or 2 years?
2 years.
2 years. And then COVID was weird.
Yes.
So obviously that didn't happen. And what we did was we just made like a cute little postcard kind of thing. Obviously, the more businesses that get involved, the bigger that the advertisement needs to be. But it was something that I think we did it for that weekend, because it just so everybody knows, Small Business Saturday is the day after Black Friday, which is the day after Thanksgiving.
I think we had a week. I think we had a week or two, and we did it 2 different ways. There were prints.
I thought we did that weekend. I thought we did,
No,
like,
it was
Friday,
longer
Saturday,
because
Sunday.
people wanted more time because
Okay.
they use their
Well, we can talk about
children.
that.
Yeah.
But
But we also did a download so people could pick them up at the businesses, or you could just go down and just print it off at home.
yeah, and maybe if it's something that we're gonna do townwide, we can even talk about
some kind of
Fill in that-
mailer or.
Well, even, or fill in the blank of which business you go to instead of having
Oh,
it
that's
pre-printed.
an idea.
Because if
Well,
we have,
so remember, I don't want to get too in the weeds.
I know but
Well,
you
but
know
you got
me.
excited. You got
I
excited.
get excited
know.
about the passport.
So basically we wanted to throw it out to everybody, where we can have like a few ideas come through, but really we can gear that up. The other way that I've been involved with Small Business Saturdays, obviously through my business, and American Express sponsors Shop Small every year, and they give out huge kits. So I've actually gotten every year, I've signed up to be I don't know if they call it like a cheerleader or
it's like
ambassador's a funner
I think
way
it's like
to
a
say
neighborhood
it.
ambassador.
I don't know if they called me that something that cool, but
I just called you that.
yeah, we can. And they give you enough for like 10 businesses. So they'll give us like free totes and things like that. So maybe that's something that we can work on getting swag and things like that. But just to flip back to the passport real quick, it could be something that's free to our local businesses. We offer them to be a part of it, and well, technically free. We would just ask for a raffle prize. So that is maybe $20, $25 minimum.
Something small.
Something so that whoever is playing the game will win prizes at the end of it.
If they get enough stamps from the passport places. And when is this? September? October? Oh, November, after Black Friday. I'm sorry.
I knew
was taking
I
notes.
knew
You were gonna get there.
You were gonna get right there.
There's only so many months.
Yes. So
I was writing
again,
while you were talking.
Small Business Saturday is the Saturday of Thanksgiving. It's the day after Black Friday, and it's become really big the last, I say decade. It's kind of really geared up. These last couple of years, it's definitely big. And American Express usually offers like
incentives.
Like use our card this weekend at a local business and you get this back. So there's all kinds of things out there that we could utilize.
Yeah, and going back to the passport idea, that we came up with the idea because so many people, we drive by so many businesses every day and we never go in them.
Yeah.
So here's the opportunity where you're just going in, you're not being asked to buy a thing. You're just walking in saying, I just need a stamp. And now you're inside like, oh, I didn't realize this place did this.
Or they sold that.
Or they did that. Or I didn't know you offered this. So
could, going crazy and going up a notch is, for technology, you could consider a QR code or something as well.
Just collect the QR codes. Yep.
Yep.
Obviously, somebody's gonna have to track that and do all that. So,
is there a conflict with the town giving out raffle prizes or soliciting raffle prizes? Is there like a fine line that?
I don't know for sure.
Well, if in the past,
who do we have to ask?
That would be a question for the town attorney, I would say.
Okay.
So because this was something we experienced in the chamber, we could put the responsibility.
Right, you could run it through the chamber.
And have them be responsible for doing that. Okay.
Yeah,
there's a couple things there. The chamber isn't the whole town.
Yeah. No.
And it costs money to become a member of the chamber.
All right, that's true. This is more.
I would just advise checking with our town attorney before.
Okay.
You got it. I would almost think maybe if they had to purchase something to get something, but because everything's free, maybe that's where we might be good to go.
Yeah.
But it's good to know for anything for in the future, anything like that. And it should be something that's free to the business. They can donate a raffle prize and no one's paying to enter the raffle. They're just going about their day. And what's cool about it too is last time we did it, I don't know if we had 20 or 25 on there. I'm hoping because we'll be doing the whole town, we'll have a lot on there. But we only made you get like 5 or 10 stamps, but a couple people wanted to like go all the way and do all of them. And that was
we had
really
an extra
cool
prize if you filled up the entire card. Yes, we had an extra prize.
And
only one person took that on, but it is possible.
Yes. Okay. Is there anything else for Small Business Saturday other than the passport? Or like I said, we can get like some swag things to really help the small businesses promote it. And hopefully that's something that I know Facebook page is number 3 on the list. I probably should have thought about the order of all this.
No,
but we can, you know, promote that on social media very easily.
Yeah, Hunter has his hand up.
Yes, Hunter, hi, sorry, I'm forgetting you're here.
No, it's okay. I apologize. I'm not in person. I'm officially on vacation as of today. So, but
congratulations.
thought it was important.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I would say, just from a marketing of this standpoint, we want to be as early as like August, September with getting information out about it. So that way stores can have, if we do something like a flyer or anything like that, we can have people aware of it. Even if it's simple as just like you said, putting it on social media as early as that, it really gets it into the minds of people. So that way, by the time the craziness of the holidays comes up, we're already in their heads.
That's a great point. I think definitely within the next, you know, before the next meeting, we can get kind of the bullet points of what the passport is and rules and regulations, things like that. Check with the lawyer, of course. Maybe have him check the rules and regulations for us. And then we can start going to the businesses and really promoting that.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Hunter. That's a great point.
And if anyone, you know, that's watching at home or anything, has any ideas for Small Business Saturday, we'd love to make it really big in Newington. We think it'd be really cool. Between the Turnpike and downtown, we have a lot of small businesses. And not only that, there's hidden ones that don't have a brick and mortar. So what can we do with those, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so we can leave that on the agenda for next time, pick it up?
Yes.
All right, cool. So do we want to skip real quick down to the Facebook page, or do we have to go in order, Eric?
You don't have to. I mean, you ought to.
We ought to?
Yeah.
All right, we ought to.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to number 2, correspondence with downtown landlords. So we chatted with Eric a bit. We definitely wanted to get some correspondence going with help me out, the owners of the Keeney building, as well as the Best Market Plaza.
Yeah.
And invite them to a meeting and see if they want to chat. Do you have any updates for us on either of those before we go forward?
So we do have revised plans have been received for Keeney. So they're trying to figure out their parking.
Okay. It's a good sign, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes. I've had a few discussions in the last week and a half, 2 weeks with the broker for Best Market, and apparently they are working on something.
Cool.
No formal application yet, and it is not housing.
And
to make that clear.
Business in the Best
Do we
Market.
want to make that really clear here at this meeting?
There's still there's no new housing going in.
So I do want to bring it up because unfortunately we heard from one of the tenants in there that someone came in and was like, oh, I wasn't going to come here anymore because I thought you were closing. So these rumors really tailspin out there. There was one tentative, a pre-application put in.
Pre-application for the housing, and all it was a pre-application.
All it was a pre-application. It
had a discussion, and there's been no contact with the developer about that since the meeting.
Yeah, people are still making it known on Facebook.
So at the moment, it is.
So there's
happening.
So there's no approval for housing there. There is no formal application for housing there at this point.
It's never gone any further than his introduction.
And the pre-application is there for that purpose, for them to go before TPC, and TPC says, we love it, we hate it, go back to the drawing board, whatever. So it's a part of the process, and it's not an approval. It's simply, let's go before and see if there's any interest.
Usually a pre-application is used for, potentially a sensitive area or an area where they may have to try and tweak the regulations because what they want to do, maybe exceeds what's allowed there and different things. So that's why they try and get some kind of feedback from the planning zoning commission.
Okay.
But again,
right, they got the feedback,
and again, we have heard nothing from him since that meeting.
Correct.
Okay.
So the businesses that are in there are
Still active and need your support.
very much open and happy to help serve you. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, back to the correspondence with downtown landlords.
Yes.
So one of the things that we pictured doing as the Economic Development Committee is to reach out to landlords and see what's needed, what's wanted, what we have residents asking for. So maybe to try to find out what they need from us and what we need from them. So is that what we want to talk about?
That probably segues into number 4 on your list.
Yeah. Oh, I get, okay. So you were kind of, I guess that was, we could have tied them together. We're learning how to work this. So, but that was, you know, communicating.
Well, that's for all the businesses.
Yeah.
We were thinking of doing the questionnaire.
So
again, any questionnaire, I would think, you know, obviously you want to include more businesses than just downtown.
correct.
You want to hit all the other little ones still. And you probably want to ask things, what's working for them, what's not working for them. And then you guys can develop some things, and then any feedback, if it's something that needs to go to the TPG level just for questions, we can certainly ask the questions, you know, and see what we can do going forward for.
Okay. Do a couple people want to take that on to make a questionnaire?
What would the questionnaire?
So we're just kind of trying to get a temperature, I guess, of the businesses that are already here.
Okay.
What's working for you, what isn't working for you. If you're a downtown business, do you like this?
Right. Okay.
If you are on the turnpike, do you like that?
And how are we going to get this out to the business owners or the landlords?
So I kind of think that's what a couple people need to work on.
So develop it. You want to
Email or
Yeah, whether it's
Mail.
email, going
But
in
how are we going
person.
to get like, there's like legwork.
Correct.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to develop the questions, you're gonna have to get them printed, or however you're gonna do it, whether you do electronic, you
Well,
know.
here's the thing, we're not gonna expect to get every single
Right, well, that's it.
business.
And then
How
some-
many are there?
And somebody's gonna have to
Thousands.
tabulate that stuff when it comes back, which is, you know, fine. So I mean, there's time and effort involved.
Wait, Eric, isn't there a list of all businesses in town? Is that available? I know the chamber had it at one point.
The short answer to the question is businesses are constantly changing, and they don't necessarily always let me know that somebody's left and somebody else has gone in. I did a complete inventory during COVID. That was the last time I did a complete inventory, because I had time to drive around and there wasn't a lot going on. So but
So again, I don't think we're looking for everybody. I think it's a questionnaire that can totally be cherry picked. It can be something where a couple people can go take a walk downtown for a few hours in an afternoon and take the questionnaire and go downtown.
to get a sampling.
Yeah. And then we can also put it on our social media, which we're talking about as well, having a Facebook page,
Yes.
sharing it on there, just to get a sampling.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
So I guess some of this is learning what is expected of us and what we can be doing for them, or what they need from us. So I think there's a lot of latitude in this committee, and we're trying to figure out how best to use it. So maybe that's part of it.
Well, business owners are very busy. I understand that this meeting happens once a month, the first Wednesday of every month at 7:00. Tiffany owns a business in town. She had to change her work schedule to be here once a month. So they can't always come to this meeting and tell us what they're looking for, how we can help, things like that. We might need to go to some of them to see what's going on.
But it's open for discussion. You know, I guess that's the reason for the conversation.
Totally. It was something that was brought up at the last meeting, was to get a questionnaire out there and see.
So I'm willing to do it. I just don't want to carry the whole load.
No, and maybe I should back up even a little bit. I think that we should have one or two people come up with the questionnaire so that we don't use a whole meeting on that.
I agree.
And then come to the meeting, finalize the questionnaire, and then
take the next steps.
And then maybe most of us, if not all of us, can kind of, hey, I was downtown today. I talked to, we can all kind of
divvy it up.
Right.
Okay.
Team it together.
Okay.
I'll
Does
talk
that
to
make
the owner of the
sense?
Evolution Yoga.
There you go, see? Perfect.
And maybe I'll
You
talk
know
to
you're gonna
Karma's
see-
Closet.
You know you're gonna see them.
That's so odd.
Okay,
I feel
or,
like I
you
know
know,
that business, Teresa. I
We
can't-
get it to the chamber, they send it out. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, it's not,
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to cover it 100%, but
No, we're not
to the best of
looking-
our ability.
we're not looking for
Right.
500 responses. That would be awesome, but it's never
could.
gonna happen.
You're-
Right?
Because
Let's
then
be
one of us is gonna have
realistic.
to tally.
And
Yeah.
you're gonna get people that are just gonna wanna complain about some things.
About their
and-
taxes.
Right, which,
Yep.
okay, thank you. We will pass that to who can take care of that for you.
Or signs, signage is always
Yeah.
a conversation.
Mhm.
Okay.
Do we have,
Sorry, don't mean
I
to
think
tick
that
on
girl doesn't talk about that anymore.
It's,
If I
if I
may.
may, I would like to piggyback on that situation of the questionnaire, but we're also trying to find out exactly what is the town could do for the business. One of the question is, we want to make sure this town is business friendly. So that we need to attack the situation to the point that says, okay, is the town doing all the things that they could do for the business? What is that we have that should be addressed? And there is many people that continue will tell you that they will you're doing a great job, but there is still a number of people that they're not happy. And what I would like us to look to making sure is that the people that are here are happy. And the town is doing the best that they can do. They have to be friendly. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're not doing the rules and just, but you had to coming back and to the town that says, look, this is what I could do better. How we could help? How we do this? Do we have issues? Can we meet with the manager? Can we meet with the council? So those are some of the things that we ought to bring together. The idea of the questionnaire is important. And point another is, what is that the business is looking for? What is that they need? And I think that if we work with a chamber, in my previous experience, chamber and the EDAC and other could work together to do the survey.
all right, Hunter has his hand raised again.
Hunter.
So another outreach that we could do, and I don't know if anybody here has connections with either local banking or commercial real estate, but they're going to know who's coming in and out of business, who's getting a loan for a new brick and mortar or an extension for staff or things like that. So that is another potential outreach for our questionnaire, is to get their list or suggestions from their people.
Yeah, I know there's a list that used to be sent to the chamber with that kind of information, Hunter. Maybe you can reach out to the chamber, Kathy, since you're the connection liaison.
Yep.
And see, I
Sure.
recall that list coming in maybe on a monthly basis of kind of exactly what you're saying, Hunter. People who put in applications or put in requests. So I know there's a list somewhere. I just don't know how to access it.
I'm wondering if it probably would have come from Eric's office, but what he's saying is that it really hasn't been updated.
Yeah, we don't
This is
keep
a
a
new
running.
list, so
You
if,
think so?
yes,
Okay.
yep.
I can send you guys out the last list I did.
Okay.
That would be a good idea.
And
No, it's sent to the chamber for leads, to reach out to the new businesses. So I know I just don't know
Another
where,
source.
I
Okay.
just don't know
Okay.
the source of the
I
list.
don't know if they get a whole list, but whenever a business is applied to the town, they get an email, they get
Copy.
they
Yeah.
get that in the mail saying
So-
this
Yes,
business. came
correct.
to
And it
town.
might be when trade name certificates are filed at the clerk's office,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
those will come through. A lot of those are home-based businesses, but
Okay.
maybe something that,
Right.
And again, we can investigate.
Still.
Well, and those are new businesses. So right now we're kind of looking at the businesses that are here already and what they're looking for. I think the chamber would be a big way for us to get this out.
I'll do that.
And see if they have any suggestions for other questions, things like that. That'd be great.
Is there a way that we could keep track of all the new business that are coming into town? No.
If they don't apply for it, if they're just taking over a space and they don't need to do any kind of renovation or anything, there's not gonna be any permits pulled. So
Yeah,
it would be hard, you know. Typically, they should pull a permit for a change of use if they're going from retail to a doctor's office or whatever, but doesn't always happen.
Yeah,
I understand that, but can we keep track of all of those business that are doing or supposed to be doing? Because I think it's important.
It may be important. I don't know if I have any town staff to do that. I wear a number of hats. Maybe something you want to talk to council about. You have council liaisons here. I don't know if it's something that.
I don't know how we'd even do that.
Yeah, it's.
So my understanding, the conversation we had with Eric previously was that if we had an actual director of economic development, that might fall under that purview or free up some of the stuff that other people do.
Yeah.
So if we had someone running the whole department or the whole committee, that would be handled, but we don't have that yet. We can certainly do an informal one as best we can. I don't think that's a bad idea to take the list that Eric has and add and make changes to it to the best of our ability. But I guess until there's a full-time person.
Because the list I generated is a list of, again, in 2020 in COVID, of every space available. So I went into 100 Market Square. So if they had 30 units in there, boom, even if they were empty. So we have unit numbers there. May not have been businesses in there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, as you guys know, somebody takes over 2 or 3 spaces and then.
Yeah.
So
it's all very, I'm trying to hold my tongue back, but I can't. It's almost impossible to like literally like say, print, these are all the businesses in town. And I don't know if that list would really help us as much. Because a lot of them.
It would at least give you the spaces and the addresses, so you know that
yeah,
they
it would be a jumping off point for us.
Yeah.
And every time one goes under or closes or moves, we don't always get notifications. So I think I love it. I wish I had a printable list of all the businesses in town, but I don't know how to produce that.
Well, I'm just like, things go under DBA. Like, it's crazy the amount of things I'm sure that come through to the town. So I don't know if it's like he said, he can print off.
I'll forward it to you guys and you guys can use it for what you want to use it for. If it's not helpful, it's not helpful.
And if you'd like a copy of the chamber list, I don't know if that's something that you guys want to work off of.
Certainly get that.
You know, a lot of the chamber members are very active business people in town. So it kind of is a decent list to go off of. Yeah. Anything else on that? I think as we start with like one thing at a time, like the questionnaire, and then what do we do with the questionnaire and go forward, we'll have a better idea of what we're working with. Does that make sense?
I mean, you could probably,
because there's some businesses that are like, I'm good, leave me alone.
Don't talk to me. Yeah.
You know, we want to talk to the people that, you know, we can help, or
and again, you could probably just, someone could go online and just do a little research, what kind of economic questions, you know, just to kind of help narrow your focus, like, oh, yeah, that's a great question. That doesn't apply to us or whatever, just to help you guys get an idea. I mean, you guys may come up initially, whoever's doing this may bring you 35 questions and you may narrow it to 15 or 10.
Exactly.
Because nobody's going to give us an hour. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, good point.
Exactly.
Unless you have, you know, straight yes or no stuff and then some short answer. Oh, it sounds like an exam.
Can you combine 5 of those questions? Yeah.
True, false. Okay.
All right, cool. So we kind of did the Facebook page, but not really. So we knew that there was a Facebook page, but it's very unclear of
It was started by one of the commissioners.
Okay.
It is not a town sanctioned Facebook page.
Oh, that's a thing?
Yes, there are.
That's a thing.
There are some, yes.
Approval through, I believe, the town manager's office.
Okay.
To have a Facebook page that represents the town of Newington.
Got it.
And I don't know if they have, you know, like, I think IT kind of monitors it as well sometimes.
Right. And I believe that you would have to submit the information to
Before
them.
it's posted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my understanding. I could be wrong.
Okay, that's a place to start.
Mm-hmm.
So
the town manager, you think we need to talk to?
I'll try and find out a little bit of info and let you guys know whether it goes through IT or what.
Okay.
Okay,
I can't remember.
So is it frowned upon to make our own? And
yes.
Yes.
If we're representing, we're a commission of the town.
I mean, I don't really want to do that either. So I just wanted to double check.
If you're representing the town as what we are, we would need approval.
Right.
From the above my pay grade.
Gotcha.
Well, that would be above our pay grade.
Yeah. So we shouldn't go rogue in the second meeting.
Yeah.
All right. Good point,
Not in the
Teresa.
second.
Yeah,
Maybe
wait to the third. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
And,
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
All right. Are you guys? Were you gonna say something?
No, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Are you guys good on all the items that we had in new business? Did you want to
No.
I have
go
a
over
question.
anything else?
Oh,
there?
Hunter has his hand raised again.
Hunter.
So with the town sanctioned Facebook page, does that not allow us to put money behind, like say we want to do an event and we want to market that on through Facebook? Does that prevent us to do that?
That I would assume would be a question for the town managers or IT.
Yeah, because if you, on the off chance that you mentioned a business on the Facebook page, then the other business say, why am I not getting the same
exposure? Yeah.
Right.
So I'm sure it's a fine line for what the town, the town has to be impartial to a point. So I don't know how they would
Well,
view.
Hunter's question was if we wanted to like boost posts or something like that, which to even go around what's allowed and not allowed, you need a credit card to do that. And I don't like, it's not like we have a town credit card that's at our expo.
Right. It's not at
our, So
that's,
and it's not like I'm gonna.
Janet Murphy, our finance director.
Well, even besides that, besides the point, I think Hunter's even basically like, let's say we don't have permission yet for our Facebook page, but now we have Small Business Saturday. Let's just for giggles.
Yeah.
You know, and now we all want to add it and put it on what's happening in Newington, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yes, you would have to have a press release, and the press releases go through the town manager's office, and then they will put them on the press through their list of press releases,
the flash stuff,
and then the news flash, and on the town Facebook page, and that's where we as a commission can take it, repost it.
Got it, Teresa.
On our personal pages.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna hold off until you find out.
I'll try and find out all the information on what the status or what the proper steps are for that.
Thank you. Thank you. We're just on to public participation. Do we have any other public participation?
For those of you who don't know this, she'll introduce herself.
Yes, please introduce yourself.
I don't want to speak for her.
Right.
Rose Lyons, 46 Elton Drive. It's been about 15 years that I've been coming to these meetings. And I must say having the Zoom application works for me because I can listen on my flip phone, but I can't, well, I could on my computer watch you. I tried to get it on YouTube. Was it on YouTube tonight?
Funny you should mention I did have a live stream problem this evening, so it's not live stream.
So I hopped in my car, came down. As I'm sitting here, with all due respect to the previous chairwoman, previous committees, What I'm hearing here tonight is kind of like everything that I heard over the last 15 years. Is there any continuity with this commission as to what they've discussed? Because there were numerous times when districts were discussed, who was going to go into what areas, put out a survey, ask what are we doing right, what are we doing wrong? And again, I don't mean to put this commission down, but I have to say that there wasn't too much that actually got done except talk like you're talking right now tonight. And even watching here on the screen and knowing most of you from by sight, not personally, other than a couple of you, I wouldn't know who was saying what and what your ideas were. And you're coming up with all the things that need to be done. The Facebook page. I think Dana Havens is the one that worked on that. I remember, God, forgot his name. How could Andy Brecker? Andy Brecker tried to work on it with the IT. And with all due respect to our town councilors that are here, you know our website doesn't work. It doesn't even work for who we've got now. As I thought for all these years that IT was sticking the information into the computer. When Paul Boutant retired, he was the director. I called to congratulate him, have a nice retirement. He says, Rose, please don't pick on my department and not getting the right information out. And this was during COVID, where one particular area would have, this is our alert status, and then somebody else would say this. Each department, and correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, are responsible for their own information. So, for instance, if the emergency operations director put out one alert on that page, but the town manager's information was different, they contradicted each other. And I haven't had a town manager yet other than Jamie, because she was involved in it, and probably James, tell me that they have just as much trouble as the general public does. So if you can get some people together and kind of, and even I'm sure Dana would be able to share some information as to what has been discussed before, how far it got, if she has any folders or information on it. Everything you're saying is everything that I've heard. And yet I never heard a resolution to any of the discussions. I myself, when the municipal parking lot was being revamped, went into each and every one of those business theirs with my friend Mady and wrote down all the names of the businesses, only to find out that the Downtown Business Association had a list already. So I don't even know if that's still in existence. It's not. And you've got the chamber. So you've got the information, but it's not in a central area. And I don't even know who's in charge of economic development anymore. Usually don't. When Andy Brecker left, no, I'm talking about with the town.
I know, no,
there isn't.
There isn't.
Yeah.
So you're economic development, but you're trying to retain who we have. It used to be that the department heads and the town manager were, I'm sorry, I'm way past my 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is.
2 minutes.
But just to share from a person's point of view who was sitting here listening to this, who's seen it and heard it before, there's gotta be a way to get the information and keep it from commission to commission. Because as you well know, other than Teresa and Marissa and Paul, who I don't think they've been on very long, well, you're all new. Yes, you're involved in the community. You know what the chamber needs and what people see through the chamber, but there's more to this economic development than what I'm hearing here, but it has to start here to keep the people here. I saw a post on Facebook regarding an area of town, and tonight I happened to be there and talk to the business owner. I said, I'm going to an economic development commission meeting tonight. Just curious, blah, 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 blah. She said, do me a favor, don't get the town involved. We're happy the way we are. And so I'm not gonna mention where it was or who it was, but things have to be cleaned up. I heard you talking about beautification. The outside, Market Square, the planters and this and that, things have been done. Has anybody gone to the inside and to Constitution Square and to that area? There's a lot that needs to be done there. We've got one storefront that's had a dead mouse carcass in it for 5 years.
Where's that?
Where the pet store used to be. How'd you like to go to I won't say where, but I'm just saying, that it's been reported. Health department told me they can't do anything. It's just little things like that. The pride we take in this town is something that I, having been here for 75 years, make sure that if there's something I see that I don't like, I call Eric. Lucky on Facebook, I call Eric.
I hear from Rose on occasion, yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while. But thank you all for volunteering to serve. And just like I said, just a little feedback. If you can get some information from previous people, and wait a minute, up almost 8 o'clock. I know you have to get home for dinner, Fernando. 8 o'clock. I remember that too.
Remember 1 hour.
1 hour. That's it. I know the rules.
Rose, before you go,
Yeah.
can this be interactive? Am I allowed to ask a question?
Typically, it's not a back and forth.
Okay.
You can just make some statements, whatever, when they're
Okay.
done, but it's not, you don't
Okay.
typically engage the public.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll
And I'm
learn
so
how the
happy to
process goes.
Club back open.
Yes. Yes.
Very happy.
Any other public participation?
Gail Bedrejko, 21 Isabel Terrace. Actually, Rose had said some of the things that I was just going to bring to your attention because I was the liaison for a while. And regarding, and there were very good plans. And I think the people, on the commission had very good intentions, but it's very difficult in a town of this size where, as even under the previous economic development director, the list that Fernando was asking for, it was always, for some reason, it's very impossible. We said, maybe go through the assessor's office to see business taxes or something, then go through, TPZ or go through whatever, the commercial real estate. It's a massive task, but you have to work with what you have. And like you said, Dina, you're not going to get every business, but I think it's a good idea to make a start. This is a new commission. All of you have business experience as either small business owners or whatever. So I think you can make things work. One of the ideas that Rose had mentioned, I have it written down here, is what they were going to try to do previously was each commissioner was basically going to assign a zone. So that Kathy, you didn't have to know all or be in contact with all the businesses. And Tiffany, you didn't have to, the town was divided into zones. And they wanted you to have business cards, actually, that says economic development. And at your leisure, you go into just the businesses within your zone. So you're not, duplicating each other, and say, hi, my name's Tiffany. I'm on economic development. But first of all, you've got to kind of come up with, not your mission statement, but who you are, and maybe, hey, I'd like to chat at some point. I know you're busy now, but we're starting out brand new again. This is what we feel that we could offer for you. Here's a brochure of what the economic development. Here's my card. Call me. But again, you each have your own part of town so that you're not cannibalizing on each other. And okay, so that's one thing you might want to think about. The second is your questionnaire. I think it's a good idea. And again, maybe that be something you distribute when you go in to make your because you don't have to have it. It has to be done in a month, whatever. This is kind of an ongoing, because as businesses come and go, you're going to want to be collecting this information. Keep track of the businesses in your zone. Hand them the questionnaire, or just say, hey, do you want to chat? Do you want to fill out? But I think just be careful of being too open-ended about what's working for you. Well, I think you have to give them a couple ideas, and probably like the businesses on the turnpike might have different issues or questions you want them to respond to versus the ones in the center of town versus the one, on Fenn Road. Don't be too directive, but maybe give them some ideas. Because if they look at you, blankly, or just everything's fine, just say, what are do you have any comments on signage? Do you have any comments on parking? Do you have any comments on visibility? Do you have any on zoning regulations? Whatever. Give them just some ideas, not too directive, but just things so that, as a matter of fact, I really think traffic here is really terrible, and people can't get into my parking lot or whatever, or the visibility is really bad because I can't have signage. So if you can maybe throw out some ideas that they might want to comment on. But that's basically what I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Gail.
Gail.
Thanks, Gail.
Hello again, Matt Plord, 258 Audubon Avenue. Gail always says all of it, but I'll just try to add a couple things. First, I think it's so exciting, particularly the passport idea. I think I've seen that from the chamber in the past, and I think it's such an awesome and cool thing for our residents to get involved with. And I think it would be so cool to, get that in your mail or get it in your copy of Newington Life in the month of October and be able to know that in a month you can go out and patronize all of those businesses. That's really, really exciting, I think. And that's exactly, I think, the kind of creative, cool, newfangled ideas that this commission can pursue. So I'm really excited by that. As far as the social media goes, I know there are definitely a few hoops to jump through there and different approval structures. Every town department has to deal with that. We actually spoke about it recently at a council meeting. It's a lot more complex than you'd think, than I certainly was aware of to start with, but it's not insurmountable. So I think it's great that you're going to reach out to staff and to the town manager and start moving in that direction so that this commission can have that online platform, because I think that'll be helpful. And it's just all to say that, there is stuff that's been done by the prior commission, by prior commissions, and a lot of stuff that hasn't been done. And I'm so excited to see that there are new faces on this commission that are really excited to get things done and really excited to move forward with a lot of exciting ideas. So again, any way that we can help, but please let us know. And thank you again for your service.
Thank you. Thanks, Anna.
No one else is online.
No. All set with public participation.
Okay.
All right, commissioner comments. You guys want to go first?
Sure.
Or go last?
I think
That's how it goes.
That's usually
She's
that
like
the
that.
chairperson
Goes last.
goes last. That's how.
Okay.
No, go for it.
So my only thought, based on the comments that everybody made, what do you see the purpose or the focus of the Economic Development Committee?
I think that's for us to figure out, Kathy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so I guess, but if there are people coming to this meeting because they're dissatisfied with what's been accomplished in the past, everybody comes to the table with a different idea of what it should be. So I'm open to hear what people are expecting from us, because maybe if we're not paying attention to the things that are important to everybody else, that matters too. So I heard some of the things that were said, but if there are things that we're not doing or that are important, I don't know, how do they reach us? Emails? Economic Development Committee? Do we have
I mean, I sometimes I get emails and I can forward them along or questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I believe all our emails are on file. If someone goes to the town website under boards and commissions, it has our phone number.
It does get updated, yes.
And your email address.
No, thank you for that,
I think
Teresa.
as we learned after the last meeting, people know how to get in contact with all of us.
Yes.
If they have something to say.
Okay.
Or on right. I mean, honestly,
I'm on social
DMs
media,
are
so-
open.
Yeah.
If you know where to find me every
Yeah.
day, not to do an
I'm
ad.
not, I'm not
but yeah.
stationary, so I'm not.
There you
I'm not
go.
stationary,
Yeah.
So I don't have an address that people can look.
But you're on, they know where to find you on social media, girlfriend.
So I'm just saying.
But yeah, I mean, it's good to put, I put that out there earlier. If anyone in town wants to help us with the passport program, let's do it, guys.
Okay.
Right? Keep it open.
Go for it. I don't have anything to say.
Rose, sorry, I had him, I don't know why. Rose did bring up the business cards, and that was something that the town manager did, and I can only speak for myself that I still have them and I do give them out to people. There was a couple businesses that I've been to outside of Newington that I thought, hey, this would be great. And I contacted the manager, gave him a business card. And so that is, I did have that on my list too, Rose, but that's something that we can look in, you guys can decide on. Right. Yeah. And my business card just has my name, my personal email, a phone number, and then on the back, it says if you're interested in, I could find it, it's in my bag. It had the town manager's phone number to contact, because at that point we did not have an economic development.
Right, we're doing a collaborative thing, and yeah.
Right, and are we still doing that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we still have a meeting every couple of weeks with,
Yeah.
certain individuals,
Mhm.
and it's more of a collaborative thing, and it's just basically to review, approved applications, incoming applications, and discuss potential things that have been discussed, but there's no formal application out there, just for potential pitfalls and all those other things. So yes.
Also, I will not be at the July meeting. I have a planned vacation, and I will not be here at the August meeting because of a primary and early voting.
Okay. I was wondering if there was a primary in August.
Yep.
Good to know. All right. Fernando?
Want to bring to your attention, just in case if you don't know, the Portuguese Club of Hartford has been reopened after 7 years of fight. We have a beautiful club. It's all about $2 million of investment into the community. And it's up and running. The restaurant is working, and the hall is also finished. And really, I think you ought to look by and take a look at it. Should be proud of what 7 years of work has done.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. It's beautiful.
It is.
Should
It's
be very
beautiful
proud.
inside. Have a little tour.
Yes.
Take the
I will be
meeting
glad
on
to
the
do that.
road.
Yes. So there's the restaurant is working. It's a section that is for members only, and then there is open to the club. The restaurant is open to everybody.
That's nice.
I'll let my father-in-law know.
Okay.
Very Portuguese.
So that's the comment from now. That's a good comment.
Good comment.
I'm done a positive.
Does Hunter want to say anything?
He doesn't have his hand there.
Sure.
There you
Okay.
go.
Hold on.
I would say my internet's a little iffy here.
You're good. We can hear you.
So to kind of speak to the comments, right? To kind of speak to the comments about what this commission is to do or what its purpose is, I personally see it as, it's threefold. It's maintaining the businesses that we have. It's also bringing in new business so that we are continuing to grow, and then bringing in people, so tourism, bringing people into Newington so that they can partake in these businesses. So that can be done in a number of ways, and I think that's really the goal of what we can do here. Some of you may agree, some of you may disagree, but that's how I feel coming into this piece.
I like that last ad, because maybe we need to put the passport other places.
Well, I think what he might have just created, and this is something to put on for next month to really tease out our mission statement. And I think what Hunter just said, it might be the start.
That was nice.
If not,
Yes, it was
not
very
it.
well said, Hunter. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think I came into this unsure of what our purpose is.
Yes.
There's a lot of ideas. I'm very excited about it, but it needs to be focused.
So Rose, I've been coming to meetings for, I don't know how many years, but I appreciate your presence at the TPZ, the town council. You always have great things to add. I don't know if you missed the beginning of our meeting, but a couple of other things were brought up that I think you would really think were pretty cool. Like Matthew was bringing up the passport for small business. We really want to do something cool for Small Business Saturday. So we think that would be a great start for our small businesses. This is only our second meeting as a board ourselves. And I'm pretty sure Fernando and Teresa are the only ones that have been on the commission before. So we kind of were looking at this as a fresh start. So that's why I was looking to Teresa to just go over the beautification and the things that they had done in the past again, because she wasn't able to make our last meeting, so that we could hear that from her. So those are things that we know have gone on in the past, and we want to see different things moving forward as well. You know, I know sectioning off of the map, we talked about that. We don't think that's going to work for us. It didn't really seem to work for them. So why would it work for us? So we're going to start little by little, because we're even new to the politic game over here. Okay. So I've been working with the chamber for 12 years. I just retired off the board. So I wanted to tackle this, something a little different, but up the same alley, right? Still helping the businesses and being involved in the business community in Newington. Also, the rat thing is disturbing me, whether it was rat or a mouse. It is in my brain. And I will say this, because I have a lot of these conversations all day, every day with people that come in, because everyone cares. People really care about this town, right? We could see it on Facebook when everyone's going at each other. But there are only so many things that now that I'm presenting myself as the town can do when these businesses are not only owned by a business owner, but the building is not owned by the town. And unfortunately, that's where our hands get tied, because if it were up to the town and the people in it and the businesses in it, I think the Keeney building would look a heck of a lot different right now. And unfortunately, someone else owns that and we have to go on their timeline, just to give an example, right? If there is a mouse in someone's front showcase, though, I think we need to put a little blight. Is that a blight situation? What do we do with that, Eric?
It's an empty storefront. It's real, you know.
It can't be there for 5 years because it's going to decompose after a few months.
I mean, can we just write them a little letter and you slip it underneath and just say, hey, we'd all appreciate if, yeah, but we are here for that. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know how to be there for that.
That's a toughie.
But yeah, we talked to the new mayor, a lot of the council people, other people, and they kind of said, EDC can kind of be whatever you guys want it to be, whatever you need to make it. If we're here for just the small business, but we kind of want to be here for Newington. So whether that's the small businesses, we do want to have different ideas like the passport program. Now we're making it a whole thing.
It's going to be a whole thing.
Small Business Saturday passport. And there's other things that are brewing. It's just nothing that is ready to come out of my mouth, because I don't know if I know what I'm talking about yet, Rose. I'll just be honest with you. Right.
But we're receptive to guidance.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
like
what we're here.
just saying, I saw Rocky Hill has a Costco, what do they call it? Fulfillment centers for Costco, that like a local distribution. We have a lot of big empty factories in town. So is that something that this commission tackles? I don't, it could be anywhere in there, right? That's the problem. Right. Newington, we're funky. We have this little, small, cute New England center, and then we have this Berlin Turnpike, and then we have all these other little nooks and crannies, as well as big factories. So,
but you got a bunch of cheerleaders up here.
Yeah, we're ready. Kind of down for whatever as far as economic development goes. So, yes, I hope that clarifies a couple things.
Great job.
Okay. All right, is that it?
I think we did good tonight.
Now you ask.
Yes, motion for
adjournment.
Second move.
So moved by Fernando, a second.
Second.
7 minutes.
I think Teresa got the second on that one. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. You said 8:09. That's what then you said it. I didn't get my way.